Hi folks, John Cordisco back again. FIDE World Chess Cup 2015 being played in Baku, Azerbaijan. It's a knockout tournament. And I think it's the top four, the top two players automatically get in the candidates final. It's a series of 2 games. The winner of that moves on to the next round, and so on and so on. And if there's a tie, there's several tie breaks leading to an Armageddon game. This is round 1, game 1 from my buddy Carl Nakamura is black, and Richmond Phiri, I believe it's pronounced P-H-I-R-I. It's an interesting game. You're going to get some lopsided ratings in the first round, so let's get to it. I'll say Phiri is white and Nakamura is black. It's going to be a Queen's Indian. Pretty much standard stuff, so we'll just go through it here. We're not big on opening theory. There's other videos and other books for that. Castles, D5. Okay. Interesting choice for Hikaru, Queen's Indian. I do have to say, it's a 460 rating point difference. White is rated 2252. Hikaru is 2814. He is now number 2 in the world. So you're going to get these, but this is also a chance for the much lower rated players to maybe draw or take a scalp. So let's see how it goes. Small advantage for white, knight e5. I've never played the Queen's Indian, so I'm not really familiar with it. Knight takes. Knight takes, of course, rather than queen, because the knight really has nowhere to go, as you can see. If queen takes, where's the knight going to go? Can't go anywhere. So obviously knight takes. Knight d2. f5. Okay. Black is going for it. Of course, that's a Carl style anyway. He's always an aggressive player, even with the world-class players, but sometimes you can't take these low-rated players too lightly, so you still have to be careful. a4. Knight f6, move the f-pawn, and then put the knight right behind it. Well done. a5, b5, queen c2. Okay, we're on move 15. Tiny advantage for black, which I'll tell you the truth, being over 400, almost, or I should say 500 and odd rating point difference, I think the kid that's playing white has done well. B takes, B takes. You don't want to take here, of course, as black. Doubles up your pawns. Rook to c8. Rook f to e1. And c5. So Carl's trying to break this open. White goes e3. And slowly but surely, I think Carl starts taking over the game. D takes c5, probably is best. e3, he's got to be terribly intimidated by Carl. I mean, who wouldn't be? D takes, knight d5. Here we go. And Carl, I think, is going to start pressing him here. He's going to slowly turn the screws. Knight f3. Bishop takes. Rook to d1. Pinning the knight. Queen e7. Okay, let's take a breath here. We've been moving pretty fast. Sets the position. 3/4 of a pawn advantage for black. I think white's done well to get to this point, considering the ratings difference. They have isolated pawns all over the place. So Carl's a pawn out, but it's isolated. Looks like black's got a lot more space. That knight on d5 is really good. Right now, black's bishop on a6 is not so hot. His own pawn's blocking him in, but he can fix that easy enough. I think black's a little better. Knight d5. Knight takes. Queen takes. Queen f6. Pinning the knight, or excuse me, pinning the knight against the queen. Rook a to b1. rook, hitting the knight. Bishop comes back. Now, let's look at this position for a moment. Now, knowing how Carl's style, oh, he's a world-class player. It's not known by style. Carl has a tendency to be aggressive. And it's also the computer's first choice. Second choice in the computer is 8-6, believe it or not. F4. Nice. Very nice. What to do? What to do? Do you take with the e-pawn? Well, you can, because the knight's hanging there. The knight, you lose the knight. Got 1, 2, 3 attackers. So if pawn takes, you lose a piece. So you have to play G takes. Bishop takes. Pawn takes. Queen takes. Very nice. Now he's sharing the pawns in front of the white king. Bishop G2. He's trying to get some protection and control the diagonal. Rook D6. And this is where I think Carl smells blood. We're on move 28. Rook comes over. Queen takes. Queen takes. Rook takes. And this is where I think the young man messes up. Maybe should have thought it through a little better. Bishop to H3 is the computer's choice, and I agree. And he plays rook takes. And just like that. Doesn't look that bad, does it? But it is. C3, here comes the black pawn. It's over a 3-point advantage now for black. Rook to C1, what else can he do? C2. Bishop F3. Now watch this move. Bishop B7. How beautiful is that? Now, if white takes, rook checks. Rook takes, bishop takes. He's got to give up the exchange. But it's over either way. Rook checks. King to F1. Rook to F4. Now that pawn is doomed. Bishop D5. Rook takes. King to E1. King F8. If you saw there, well, at the check. Double check. And mate, I might add. King has to move. Rook E3. Maybe the king can hold on, but no, there's no way. Rook takes. Rook to D3. Rook to C1 check. Forcing the trade of rooks. And that's where white, Phiri, resigns. Give you an idea what would have happened after rook. Check. King takes. King E7. There's nothing you can do. The A pawn's on a dark square. The rook now has the king pinned to the back rank. There's nothing you can do. So, pretty good game by Carl. Of course, he was quite a bit higher rated than his opponent, but you'll see these lopsided games in knockout tournaments like the World Cup here. But there you have it. One of the games from round 1, game 1 of the FIDE World Chess Cup 2015. Look for some more videos from the World Cup. The qualifiers, I might add, get into the candidates final, which is the final tournament to determine the challenger to the current world champion Magnus Carlsen. Now, Fabiano Caruana is playing in this tournament, as well as a Carl Nakamura have already qualified. I think they're here just for the action and the fact it's in Baku, which is beautiful. Pretty good money. And they're up against world-class players. So as time goes on, we'll see if any of the top players get knocked off and how the top players make it through. We get towards the second and third round, fourth round, when you start really seeing good head-to-head matches. But once in a while, you'll see an upset. This wasn't one of them. I want you all to remember, if you think chess is just a game, you're not playing it right. Take care, folks. Bye-bye.